Hello and welcome to my Ana Advanced Guide. So in this video, I'm going to cover item combinations that are really good on Ana for New Game Plus hard mode, especially at level 50, as well as go over 7 distinct strategies she can run and some other things that are just useful to know about Ana. Okay, so for accessories, you can't go wrong with Critical Necklace. Ana can easily get behind enemies for the most part because of her invisibility. And running Critical Necklace on her will scale your crit damage. Running strength items on her is always good. If you want to go for just like raw frequency of turns, like if you want to be an item spammer, you'll want to run double speed. So like 2 speed necklaces, 2 speed bracelets, a speed bracelet and a speed necklace to get as much speed as possible. The higher your speed, the more turns you take in a given battle. So if you have like 37 speed, which is what her speed can get to with 2 speed bracelets, you will often get double turns before other units get a single turn. So extremely useful, very good. Some other items you might want to use. Res Earring can be good on her. Red Scarf on a fresh save is good. What Red Scarf does is whenever you kill something, you get healed. So if she's just constantly killing things, she'll just constantly get chip healing, which is nice. Vitality Bangle is good for passive heal on her. She does have high evasion and is quite dodgy, so running 2 evasion bracelets can also be good, putting her at 82 evasion. So the way accuracy and evasion works, I covered in a different video, but essentially, if you are 60 accuracy and I'm 80 evasion, your chance to hit me, the base rate is 90%, and then the difference, whatever the difference is, times 2, subtracts from accuracy. So if she is getting attacked by 60 accuracy at 80 evasion, the enemy will have minus 40% hit. The enemy will have a 50% chance to hit her. So evasion is real. It is good. Now, it won't guarantee dodging, but on average and over time, it will reduce the damage a unit takes. So just having high evasion is helpful for avoiding taking damage. So, alright, so those are the items. Strength items, like 2 strength items. Crit and strength is good. 2 speed items is good. Res Earring. You can run move +1 on her, but there's usually better units to run that on. It depends on why you're running it on her, because there's only 1 movement bangle. Alright, so for the strategies for Ana, let's just start this little mock-up battle here. So the first main thing she can do, and this is probably how most people will be using her on a first playthrough, is follow-up attack spam and just general dagger nuking. So dagger nuking and follow-up attack spam is just having Ana attack things in the back and having her set up follow-up attacks. So what we're going to do is we're going to let these enemies come to us. We can just kind of go over here. We're just going to pass some turns here. Let's see, we have a 5. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll let this guy hit Roland so that I know for sure he'll be over here.
Time to take flight.
I'm just going to have these pass. I just want to show like this quick strategy. Alright, so we got hit. So here is basic follow-up attack spam. We'll in tandem her just to demo it. I'm just going to be quickly demoing these things so that way it's not like an entire match, because that's a lot. Alright, so we'll just have Sereno do an attack. Cool.
My turn.
And then here's the follow-up attack spam. You would use Deadly Blaze to open up a target, increasing the damage it takes from your next attack and from follow-up attacks. And then you would just set these up. So now this dude is basically dead. He has... anything can hit him for lethal damage. So here's Rudolph coming over here. He can just shoot this. So that's basic follow-up attack spam and dagger nuking. Now she can just run up to an enemy and Deadly Blaze it from the back. You saw there that he got hit from the side, but it was still enough damage to almost kill him. But if she would have Deadly Blazed him from the back, it would have been better damage. And the ideal situation is you want to hit an enemy in the back and then trigger a follow-up attack. So you're getting crits plus follow-up attacks, and that's way more damage. So that's the big idea for that. Alright, the second way she can be used, so it's actually resets. The second strategy you can use on her is Slumber spam. So this is actually something that I don't really hear about because it's kind of weird and kind of obscure. But she can be used to put enemies to sleep. And sleep is actually quite powerful. So I'm just going to demo this. I'll just use Quietus just to rapidly go through these. So Slumber Spam is using Slumber Strike on an enemy, and then if it puts them to sleep, use Slumber Strike on another enemy. And then if it misses the first enemy, you can use it again to have a chance to get it off. So, alright, what we're going to do, we're just going to Light Wave her. And ideally, you want to hit them in the back for crits. Alright, so Light Wave. And then let's just give her Battle Cry. This is just assuming a few turns have passed. She's in a good position. These enemies have pushed us. So on and so forth. So what you can do, so let's see. So 60% chance to sleep. Let's see if we get it. Okay, we got to sleep. And then we can run behind him. Slumber him, maybe. Okay, so we were able to put one enemy to sleep. But you can potentially put up to 2 enemies to sleep. So this turns her into a shutdown unit. And if you just want to put one enemy to sleep, if you miss the first one, you can use it again if you have 4 TP. So that is Slumber Spam. Very simple. The reason I wanted to show this is because it can be useful in certain situations. Putting enemies to sleep, especially if they're about to act, can save your team. It's shut down. Having 2 60% chances to slumber drastically increases the odds of getting a single enemy to sleep. So definitely worth mentioning. Definitely something to consider. Okay, now from here, what I'm going to do is I will in tandem Anna to show her third advanced strategy, which is item nuking. So item nuking is just taking advantage of the fact that Anna can act twice to spam items. So every turn, she can throw decent damage items. You can see here she's dealing 100 damage to both of these targets, and then she can also like use her like mobility and evasion to kind of stay in the fray. She can be invis after. She can throw an item and go invis. So if she's at like low health, she can throw an item and go invisible and then run away. So she can do quite a lot. But that's another use case, the item nuking. Very simple. It costs no TP. The big upside of item nuking is you can keep item nuking, and then if there's an enemy boss, you're just saving up TP. Then you can just get off a Deadly Blaze for free. And then, you know, hit him with the Fairy Dagger for some damage. So that's item nuking. The fourth use case for Anna is flank healing. So what is flank healing? So let's do another... Actually, let's do this. What's the turn order? She should survive that. Yeah, she'll survive that. So we'll let's say, all right, let's say we have two... Let's say we're splitting our forces, right? We have Anna and we have, like, Roland pushing a flank. I'll have Huette, like, move over here, too. So there are some maps where you want to have flankers to kill enemies on high ground. Like, say you have units that can climb well, and you want to kill enemies on high ground. Your main forces are pushing, so in this case, I'm just, like, moving these dudes up here. Everyone's so far behind. So let's say our main forces want to go this way for whatever reason, and we have a small group that are flanking, right? So let's do this. Let's heal. I think Anna will die, potentially. She's just out of position, which is fine. Here, let's just heal her.
My apologies.
So let's say you're pushing with flankers, so she's taking some damage. And you have some units that are like, you know, there's like 3 to 4 units, like a Maxwell and a Milo combo pushing a flank. This is very common, and this is a useful thing to do, especially when using these units. Because what Milo can do is she can Power of Love things, and then you need a healer if you start taking damage and things start going wrong. So assuming you have, like, let's say these 3 are cut off from your main forces, like Huette on high ground is always the case. Roland, if it's a flat map, Roland could be flanking. So let's say Anna wants to heal. So she can, and what she can do in this case is she can heal herself, move, and then heal Roland. And the reason why this is good is because her act twice allows her to essentially be a spot healer, and she can also be invisible while doing this. So she can be a straight up healer for your flankers when flanking. So you can see here we have like a split. Now this is a small narrow map, but there are maps where you would split units. Like you would send 3 to 4 like mobile units to go attack some enemy mages and archers on high ground, for example. And that actually is a viable strategy in a lot of maps. And then you can see here now Roland is kind of looking a little bit better. He can like get a rush off. You know, he can have a good time. He can get some crits, get some damage off. And then Huette can come in with like a mobilize or a blind. So, and she kind of holds that flank squad together with her ability. Oh, just kill this would be better. She holds the flank squad together with the ability to spam heal. Now they can heal each other, but it's much better to have everyone get healed by a single unit than to have 2 units like heal themselves, for example. So that is the 4th use case, flank healer. The 5th use case of Ana in terms of advanced strategy would just be invis healer in general. So that's something that I showed in one of the build videos. So let me just have it be her turn. She will not lose stealth while invisible, or she will not break stealth when she uses healing items. So having her be invisible and heal things can be really useful. She generally won't get targeted if there's squishier things around anyways, but having her be invisible and heal can be useful for like the flank healing. It can be useful for just healing with your team. There's like a lot of use cases for it. It's just blazing chains the sky. So I'm just going to show her like healing and being invisible. Let's just get this speeded up. Speed this up. We're almost halfway done, so this is like actually we're past halfway. Okay, so just to show it, take cover. But in this case, she could do something like this. Now, obviously, it'd be better for her to just double heal there, but I wanted to show that you can heal while being invisible, and it is pretty good. So we'll just have Gila heal rolling there. Okay, so for the 6th advanced thing you can do with Ana, it is surmounting to increase mobility. Now, I know most people know to surmount on high ground to increase mobility. This is obvious. This is something everyone does. But specifically, you can increase your movement. And by that, I mean like your actual movement by surmounting twice. And I want to show that. So what we'll do actually is restart because it'll be faster. Because there's going to be like 20 turns before Ana can act. So you can actually surmount as long as there's a height difference of 1 or greater. You can surmount to increase your mobility. So let's not cancel that. Okay. All right, so she has what, 5 move? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Surmount. Okay, perfect. This will be a perfect map to show this on. So this is a big gimmick that I use to increase her mobility all the time. And when you get the surmount is free thing, so like check this out. This is so fun. This is honestly, this is pretty sick that this is even a thing.
I will end this.
Yeah, so surmount should be free because I have the -1 cost. So you can move here, surmount, surmount. 7 move, baby. That's what we're talking about. This is definitely one of the things I wanted to share because most people wouldn't even think to do this. Once surmount is free, if you're not acting and you have dead turns, you can double surmount on just 1 height to increase your movement. So now she effectively moved 7 tiles instead of 5, which is huge because it's free. Like yes, there's an action cost. You don't have as many turns, you know, whatever. But yeah, you can't go wrong with it. We'll show it again. So as long as so the way surmount works, you can see here, you can go ±1 to 15 height. So as long as there's a difference of 1 height, as you can see here, difference of 1 height, she can surmount it. So she's just moved 7 tiles because of that terrain. So you can play around that, and that'll help her reposition. And also surmount can be used to climb up, you know, high heights, which is its main use case. But surmounting to increase movement is extremely useful, and I cannot say that enough. Like it's very powerful because it's just free mobility. And the other thing you can do too is you can surmount first, and then move. So you can move. So you have to keep in mind. And what you could do is, well, let me see if this is possible. You just pass a turn. Let's see. When's my next turn accelerator? All right, I guess we'll. I do want to check one thing though, just to be sure. We'll retreat. It'll be faster. I want to see if she can surmount, move, and then surmount. I'm pretty sure she can. Yeah, she should be able to do that. So you can basically use it flexibly, like in a flexible way. You can have her move, surmount, surmount. You can have her surmount, surmount, move. You can have her surmount, move, surmount. So you can sequence it so that you can get the most out of surmount, which is starting to sound hilarious because I keep saying surmount, but it's a very real thing. So I'm going to light wave her just to test this because it should work. Because you might have, there might be some flat land in between your surmounts. So, alright, so we'll surmount one. Alright, and then we can move and then surmount. Yep, perfect. And this adds flexibility too, because as you see there is some flat land. If it was a few more tiles more of flat land, then she wouldn't be able to surmount again. So this allows you to basically get 7 mobility in most situations, if used correctly. So it increases her mobility on top of allowing her to climb things. So that's extremely big takeaway. I mean, obviously the other stuff's important. Like the item nuking is crazy. That's really good damage. Follow-up spam is crazy. Slumber stab is good. Like all this stuff is very useful. And then for the final 7th point I want to cover, it's flanking versus team play. So I went over all of like the modes of Ana. She can also set up things like fire tiles by herself, like throw down oil jug, throw down firestone in a single turn. That can be useful. She can also create puddles in one turn, which can be useful with Azana and Narv. She can throw down ice stone and then firestone to melt it, creating puddles. So the final thing I want to talk about is when she should be flanking and when she should be staying with the team and what she should be doing. So flanking is usually good if you have like a bunch of slow units that are going to be slow pushing anyways, and you want your faster units to cut off enemy reinforcements and kill them before they hit your main team. This can be really useful. It can also be useful to grab like high ground or to just hold a position. So like let's say there's some enemies on a height advantage, like they're on like a high position like this, and you want some mobile units to like surmount or climb up or fly up and start dealing with them. So like Ana, Huette, Milo, and Maxwell, and in some cases Roland, are really good flankers. And Ana can kind of act as like an AoE damage dealer, a healer, and a single target nuker all in one. And she has really good mobility, so she's always good to push with a flank squad. And then for team play, she can do all the things I outlined. She can be a follow-up single target damage nuker. She can put debuff on bosses. She can do the slumber stab spam, where if she's standing next to an enemy and she gets a slumber off, she can move to another enemy and try to get a second slumber off. She can double slumber an enemy if the first one fails, so she can be like a shutdown. The item nuking is really good for cleaning up foes and also dealing AoE damage. And the Invis healer is good for her being like a support healer. So it's just useful to think of Ana as a unit that can flank and can be with the team, even though she's an assassin. And honestly, in most maps, she's going to be with the team. Flanking strategies are good, but I would say they're only something you really want to use on like 20% of the maps. So she's usually going to be, follow-up spam, item nuker, invis healer, something like that. Those are like her best roles in my opinion. But yeah, that's my advanced Ana guide. One more thing though, to wrap up. She can act 4 times if Benedict twofold turns her. This is one of the big strategies people like to use on her. It can be really good with item nuker because you get 4 item nukes, so I guess we have to show that now that I mentioned that. Let me see. All right, Benedict is going to act. So let's show that. That's hilarious. I have to show that now that I've mentioned it. So we're going to have to. we have to show her using 4 items. That's just funny. All right, we'll start. Yeah, it's pretty good, to be honest. Like, the item nuking, twofold turn thing. You can have her do 4 dagger attacks, but I think she's better off. I'll put her here. I'm going to light wave her in and in tandem, so let's do this. Twofold turn. Oh wait, I can fast acting medication her. Even better. And she might be able to hit them from here, actually. Yeah, she can totally hit them from here. Alright, check this out. This is gonna be so stupid. Alright, so... Is item nuking good? Let's find out.
For you.
The other upside, too, is it's 0 TP.
For you.
It just costs money.
For you.
Alright, so just Anna was able to put both of these at 30 or 20, like roughly 25% health from spamming items. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's not the craziest thing, but it's pretty good. Let's see, can we kill these? No. We can rush them.
I will go through if I must.
We're gonna get bowed though. We're gonna arrowed to death. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you found this useful, definitely like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing advanced guides for every unit. I'm going to test... I've already tested every unit at like a basic level, and like with this Anna video, I feel like this pushes her into potential S tier, to be honest. Just because of how much she can do and how flexible she is. And like I don't say that lightly either. Like I think that she legitimately is just a really good unit. I think she is potentially S tier. Because very few units, almost no one can do everything that she can do. Like very few units can... you know, tank and deal damage and heal and do all this stuff very well. So she actually might be... I mean, I think she did get, like, she tied for, like, best generalist or something in the previous video. But yeah, that's it for this one. If you like this, definitely like and subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and see ya.